Hey everyone! Let's dive into something really cool that happens in the celebrity world. Those epic moments when our favorite stars push back against rude interviewers, showing they won't tolerate any disrespect. So, without further ado, here are the top 12 celebrities who fired back at rude interviewers in the best way possible. Let's get started. Number 12, Anne Hathaway. During an interview for her movie, One Day, Anne Hathaway was asked a rather inappropriate question. The interviewer began hinting at her role in another film where she wore a cat suit, suggesting she had to fit into it in a certain way. He asked, "How do you fit into that suit?" Anne laughed it off and didn't directly answer the body-related question, jokingly saying, "It takes a team and a lot of work to fit into that suit." But when the interviewer pushed further, asking about her weight, Anne stayed calm, but was visibly a bit annoyed. She responded, "You did not just ask me that question. What a forward young man you are." She made it clear she wasn't upset, saying, "I'm not saying I needed to lose weight. I've just worked very hard to become Selena Kyle."
It was a couple days ago we finally saw the first photos of you as Catwoman. How do you fit into that suit?
It takes three of us. A lot of lead time. Sit-ups, tricep curls, and,
But you're in phenomenal shape right now.
Bench kicks, I don't know.
How much weight have you lost to get into this shape right now?
You did not just ask me that question.
No, I'm just saying, you're like...
What a forward young man you are. My goodness.
I'm
How
sorry.
much weight?
I'm not saying you needed to lose weight. I'm just saying that you look...
I've worked very hard to become Selena Kyle.
I know you have. Mm-hmm. All right, thank you very much. I'm sorry if I offended you.
You didn't at all. I'm just...
The interviewer quickly apologized, and Anne, with a laugh, assured him she was just messing around and wasn't actually offended. Although it was a bit awkward, Anne handled the situation with grace. Number 11, Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson has faced his share of uncomfortable interview moments, especially given his controversial history. In a 2022 interview with Fox News, things got tense when the interviewer brought up the Oscar slap incident, a topic that Gibson clearly didn't want to discuss. Back in the 90s, Gibson had also experienced discomfort during an MTV Awards event, where he ended up leaving due to what he felt were inappropriate questions. During the 2022 interview, the interviewer asked Gibson how he thought he would have been treated if he had been the one to slap Chris Rock at the Oscars. Gibson didn't answer, and instead, his team abruptly cut the interview short, saying, "Thank you, that's our time."
You know, you had been the one that jumped up out of his seat and slapped Chris Rock. If you would have been treated the same way, Mel.
Hello, Jesse. Thank you. That's our time.
Have you ever thought about that?
Thank you, Jesse.
Okay.
That is our time.
Well, Mel, thank you very much for joining Jesse Waters Primetime, and we really appreciate it.
This wasn't the first time Gibson had reacted strongly to interview questions. At the MTV Awards years earlier, he was irritated by a question from Janine Garofalo, who asked him, "What do you think of my dress?" Gibson, feeling uncomfortable and annoyed, left the event. MTV later issued an apology, calling the incident a mix-up. Gibson's brother has suggested that Hollywood has changed him negatively, making him more guarded in interviews. Because of this, Gibson and his team are now particularly cautious about the topics they discuss, especially when it comes to sensitive issues like the Oscar slap. Despite the awkwardness, Gibson's ability to keep his cool in difficult situations reflects his awareness of the media's impact on his public image. Number 10, Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy had a tense moment during the 2015 premiere of Legend at the Toronto Film Festival. While discussing his role as the openly gay gangster Ronnie Cray, a reporter unexpectedly asked him about his own sexuality. Surprised, Hardy asked for clarification, clearly confused by the question. The reporter asked, "Do you find it hard for celebrities to talk to the media about their sexuality?" Hardy, baffled, responded, "What on earth are you on about?" The reporter referred to a previous interview with Attitude magazine, but Hardy cut him off asking, "Are you asking me about my sexuality?" When the reporter confirmed, Hardy bluntly replied, Sure, why?" After an awkward pause, he ended the conversation with a firm, "Thank you."
In the film, your character Ronnie is very open about his sexuality, but given interviews you've done in the past, your own sexuality seems a bit more ambiguous. Do you find it hard for celebrities to talk to media about their sexuality?
What on earth are you on about?
I was referring to an interview given to Attitude magazine a few years ago.
But what is your question?
I was wondering if you find it difficult for celebrities to talk about their sexuality.
I don't find it difficult for celebrities to talk about their sexuality. Are you asking me about my sexuality?
Sure.
Why?
Why?
Thank you.
This uncomfortable exchange highlighted the need to respect personal boundaries in interviews. Hardy's response made it clear that some questions go too far and that celebrities deserve privacy and respect when it comes to their personal lives. Number 9. Samuel L. Jackson. In a 2014 interview, Samuel L. Jackson had a memorable moment when a KTLA reporter mistakenly identified him as Lawrence Fishburne. Instead of getting upset, Jackson handled the situation with humor. He pointed out the mistake and made light of it, emphasizing that just because they are both black and famous doesn't mean they look alike. Jackson's response turned an awkward moment into a funny one, and he later shared the incident in other interviews, laughing it off. Interestingly, he also mentioned that he had previously fired the same person during an audition years earlier.
I tell you what, you working for Marvel, the Super Bowl commercial, did you get a lot of reaction to that Super Bowl commercial?
What Super Bowl commercial?
Oh, you know what? I've been my mistake.
See, you're as crazy as the people on Twitter.
Right.
I'm not Lawrence Fishburne.
That's my fault. I know that. That was my fault. My mistake. You know what?
We don't all look alike.
Floggy, you're
We may
exactly
be
right.
all black and famous,
You
but
are
we all don't look
guilty.
alike.
I am guilty.
You're busted.
I am guilty.
He thought you were Bob Dylan.
Right. That's right.
You're the entertainment reporter?
I know. How dumb
You're
am
the
I?
entertainment reporter
Right.
for this station?
Flog.
And you don't know the difference between
I
me and Lawrence
know.
Fishburne?
My mistake. My mistake. I apologize.
Number 8. Scarlett Johansson. During the promotion of her role as Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson faced an uncomfortable and disrespectful question from a reporter about her costume. The journalist inquired whether she wore underwear beneath the skin-tight outfit. Johansson, visibly upset, questioned why such inappropriate topics were being brought up during interviews. She responded cleverly, suggesting that what was worn under the costume was a matter of imagination. Johansson was frustrated by the repeated nature of the question, noting that such inquiries were unusual and inappropriate. She pointed out that no one asks male directors about their underwear and expressed her concern that these questions objectify her.
Are you able to wear undergarments?
You're like the fifth person that's asked me that.
because
What is going on? Since when did people start asking each other about in interviews about their underwear?
No, because it is such a skin tight. Here's
I'll
why.
leave it up to your imagination.
Oh, see?
Okay?
Is that?
Whatever you feel like I should be wearing or not wearing under that costume.
This is not a.
Is what I-
Is it inappropriate?
To ask somebody what kind of underpants they wear?
I didn't ask you what kind.
You just asked me if I was wearing any.
In another instance, Johansson was asked about her character's costume change in Avengers: Infinity War. She found the question irrelevant and struggled to provide a response, highlighting her discomfort with such focus on her appearance. Number 7. Robert Downey Jr. The interview initially went smoothly, but things took a turn when the interviewer started asking personal questions unrelated to the film. When asked about a past quote, Robert Downey Jr. expressed that his views had evolved. However, the situation worsened when the interviewer delved into Downey Jr.'s late father and his history with drug use. This line of questioning visibly upset Downey Jr., causing his frustration to rise. He decided to end the interview abruptly.
Not our agreement.
Your foot's starting to jump a little bit. You better get to your next question.
The reason I'm asking about the past is that you've talked in other interviews again about your relationship with your father and the role of all of that in the dark periods you entered and taking drugs and drinking and all of that. And I just wondered whether you think you're free of all of that, or whether that's still something.
I'm sorry, I really don't. What are we doing?
Well, I'm just asking questions, that's all.
Right.
Okay, that's okay.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
I'm sorry.
Downey Jr. later voiced his frustration, criticizing the interviewer for focusing on his personal history instead of discussing his film work. He pointed out that such questions were inappropriate for an interview meant to promote his movies. This incident highlighted the discomfort that can arise when personal matters overshadow the intended focus of an interview. Number 6. Quentin Tarantino. During an interview, Christian Guru Murthy clashed with Quentin Tarantino over the topic of movie violence, particularly in Django Unchained. Guru Murthy pressed Tarantino about the impact of movie violence on real-life behavior, which visibly irritated the director. Tarantino firmly defended his view that movies are a form of fantasy and do not influence real-world violence. When Guru Murthy continued to push the issue, Tarantino refused to engage further, making it clear that he would not entertain questions about the connection between enjoying movie violence and real violence.
But why are you so sure that there's no link between enjoying movie violence and enjoying real violence?
I'm going to tell you why I'm so sure. Don't ask me a question like that. I'm not biting. I refuse your question.
Why?
Because I refuse your question. I'm not your slave and you're not my master. You can't make me dance to your tune. I'm not a monkey.
I can't make you answer anything. I'm asking you interesting questions.
And I'm saying I refuse.
Okay. Well, no, I was just asking you why. That's fine. But you see, Jamie Foxx has said we can't turn our back and say that violence in films or anything that we do doesn't have a source of
Then you should talk to
influence.
Jamie Foxx about that. And I think he's actually here, so you can.
I'd love to, but I mean, it's interesting that you have a different view, and I'm just trying to explore that.
Yeah, and I don't want to. Because I'm here to sell my movie. This is a commercial for the movie. Make no mistake.
Well, you have interviews.
Yeah.
So you don't want to talk about anything serious?
I don't want to talk about what you want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the implications of violence. I haven't wanted. Because the reason I don't want to talk about it because I've said everything I have to say about it. If anyone cares what I have to say about it, they can Google me and they can look for 20 years what I have to say about it. I haven't changed my opinion one iota.
No, but you haven't fleshed it out. That's the only reason.
It's not my job to flesh it out.
No, it's my job to try and ask you to.
And I'm shutting your butt down.
And that's entirely your. That's entirely
this
your.
This is a commercial
right.
from my movie.
No, I know, but it's my job to try and explore some serious themes as well. I'm sure.
Tarantino asserted that it was not Guru Murthy's place to question his views on the matter, and made it clear that he was not obliged to answer such questions. This encounter highlighted Tarantino's refusal to address intrusive or uncomfortable questions, and underscored the importance of respecting boundaries during interviews. Number 5. Jerry Seinfeld. In a 2007 interview, Larry King asked Jerry Seinfeld if his show Seinfeld had been canceled, implying that Seinfeld ended it. Seinfeld, who had actually chosen to end the show himself, was surprised by the question and asked King if he was aware of the show's history. Despite the awkwardness, King continued the conversation and eventually mentioned Seinfeld's film B-Movie. The interview, which has gone viral several times, was seen by some as a criticism of recently.
Lasted how long?
9 years, 180 episodes.
You gave it up, right?
I did.
They didn't cancel you. You canceled them.
You're not aware of this?
No, I'm asking you.
You think I got canceled? Are you under the impression that I got canceled?
Have I hurt you, Jerry?
I thought that was pretty well documented.
Is this still
CNN?
Don't most shows go down a little?
Most people do also. But, yeah, no, I went off the air. I was the #1 show on television, Larry. Do you know who I am?
Seinfeld clarified that his reaction during the interview was meant as a joke and not intended to disrespect Larry King. He expressed that he will miss King and has always respected him. Seinfeld's explanation suggests that the incident was exaggerated, and much like his sitcom, it was more of a fuss over nothing. Number 4. Mike Tyson. In 2002, Mike Tyson had a major outburst leading up to his fight with Lennox Lewis. The tension between them was already high, and things escalated when Tyson lost his temper at a press conference. A reporter's comment provoked Tyson, causing him to launch into a furious and offensive tirade. His verbal attack, filled with threats and derogatory language, left everyone present shocked.
Put your mother in a straight jacket, you punk-ass white boy. Come here and tell me that if I f*** you in your ass, you punk white boy, you faggot. You can't touch me, you're not man enough. I eat your asshole alive, you bitch. You hoe. Come and say in my face, you ass for that, everybody. You bitch. Come on, you bitch. You're scared coward. You're not man enough to f*** with me. You can't last 2 minutes in my world, bitch. Look at you scared now, you hoe. Scared like a little white pussy. Scared of the real man. I'll f*** you till you love me, faggot.
Despite this intense display of aggression, Tyson ultimately lost the fight to Lewis in the 8th round. The incident highlighted Tyson's volatile temper and made headlines before the match. Number 3. Rihanna. Celebrities often face uncomfortable questions during interviews, and while Aubrey Plaza seems to embrace the awkwardness, most stars find it cringeworthy when interviewers overstep. Rihanna, for instance, became noticeably annoyed when asked about Ashton Kutcher. Known for her ability to handle nosy questions with grace, Rihanna shut down the inquiry effectively.
I have no doubt that all of your fans will be coming to see this film. You know, you have so many, and you're so good at connecting with people that I think that we actually feel that we know you. Things are clearly going brilliantly in your career. I just wondered if you are as happy in your private life And will we be seeing a certain Mr. Ashton Kutcher perhaps making a trip over here?
Wow, how disappointing was that question?
Should we move on to another one?
Absolutely.
I think there was a question. We've got to move on. I think
I'm
there's a
happy
question.
and I'm single, if that's what you were really asking.
When asked if her personal life was as happy as it appeared, and if Ashton Kutcher might be involved, Rihanna made it clear that the question was inappropriate. She responded firmly, indicating that she was single and suggesting that they move on to a different topic. Rihanna's response showcased her skill in managing intrusive questions and highlighted how to address rude interviewers with poise. Number 2, Tom Cruise. Second to last on the list is Tom Cruise, who had a notable reaction during a 2005 interview on 60 Minutes. The tension began when journalist Peter Overton asked Cruise about his ex-wife, Nicole Kidman. When Overton inquired whether Kidman was the love of his life, Cruise appeared visibly irritated by the question, finding it intrusive. Cruise responded defensively, questioning how to appropriately address such a personal topic. When Overton continued to press on their relationship after the divorce, Cruise became more agitated. He criticized Overton for crossing boundaries and suggested that the journalist needed to be more considerate and polite. Cruise made it clear that Overton's questions were out of line, urging him to take responsibility for what he wanted to know and to maintain proper manners during their conversation.
Was Nicole the love of your life?
What do you mean, Peter?
You were married for 10 years.
Listen, we raised children. How do you answer that? How do you answer that question? She's someone that I plan on getting married again.
You do?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And having kids?
Absolutely.
But Nicole was a major part of your life and a love of your life at the time.
I loved Nick very much. There's no question.
Would you like Nicole to remarry?
Yes. I want Nicole to be happy. That's what I want.
And do you have a relationship where you talk, it's a parenting relationship, and talk professionally about each other's work?
Listen, here's the thing, Peter. Yeah. You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
Well, I suppose they're questions that people want to know.
Peter, you want to know. Take responsibility for what you want to know. Don't say what other people. This is a conversation that I'm having with you right now.
You're right.
Okay. So I'm just telling you right now. Okay? Just put your manners back in.
Do you think I was out of line?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I apologize for that sincerely.
Despite Overton's attempt to apologize, the exchange highlighted Cruise's discomfort with discussing his private life and showcased his willingness to confront intrusive questions head-on. The incident underscored the importance of respecting personal boundaries and maintaining professionalism during interviews. Number 1, Kanye West. At the top of the list is Kanye West, who made headlines for a dramatic outburst during an interview with podcaster Tim Pool. Known as Yeah, West launched into an anti-Semitic rant when Pool lightly challenged his controversial comments. Upset by the pushback, West abruptly walked off the show, accompanied by white supremacist Nick Fuentes and right-wing figure Milo Yiannopoulos. During the interview, West spent about 20 minutes making outlandish claims, including accusations of a Zionist conspiracy involving Adidas, Canadian deep state agents, and a Jewish cabal controlling banking and media. He also targeted Jewish figures Jared Kushner and Rahm Emanuel with anti-Semitic remarks. The interview became increasingly tense as West's rhetoric escalated, ultimately leading to his departure from the show.
I think they've been extremely unfair to you.
Who was they, though? We can't say they is,
corporate
can we?
press. I'm not using the. I don't use the word as the way I guess you guys use. I'm talking.
It is
about
them, though, isn't it? I mean, because
No.
because when you think about it, consider it. In 2018.
What do you mean it's not?
What do I mean? Like, okay, so how about? Are you leaving?
Are you referring to the press?
This incident highlighted West's refusal to tolerate criticism and his tendency to engage in inflammatory and controversial speech. The episode underscores the challenges and risks associated with addressing sensitive topics in public discourse. So there you have it, the celebrities who flipped out on inappropriate questions and shunned down disrespectful interviewers. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.